Experience. Experience.
For my people, bring the flow straight out the 8-point, Arizona heat.
Action soaps in the making by Manny. Well, he's making his true soaps. I have a question, and you can use soap making as a metaphor if you like.
All right, let's
Tell
talk.
us a little bit about your thoughts on science and spirituality in relation to about environmental issues as well.
All right, so my take on spirituality is kind of in a sense where I am a Catholic. However, I'm not super religious, but I do have spiritual beliefs I believe in God. I believe in, there is certain people that took place before me when it comes to, maybe that people have like apostles or different saints or things of that nature. I believe those people existed, and it's important to believe those things because that's our history of, mankind, so to speak. There's certain people that were on this earth before us. So you got to kind of have a belief system. You can't just not believe in anything. So I do believe in those things. But my take on spirituality is it comes from within. So I'd like to think of myself as a person where I got to treat people well and retain that energy in the world so I can get it back as well, so to speak. And I just try to do things to the best of my ability. So that's my thought process about things when I'm connecting myself with the world, right? So I like to just ensure that I'm doing the right thing, and it helps me feel better spiritually. So to put everything in a nutshell, I am a Catholic. However, I do believe that it's important to believe in other belief systems such as Muslim, Buddhism, people that believe in Hinduism, Judaism as well. There's a lot, everybody has different Catholicism, Christianity. They kind of all interlinked. They all kind of believe in a God system, right? Well, except for Scientology, huh? Sufism, yeah. So, but they all have good views. Like even Scientology, I would never join Scientology, and we could talk about that another time and stuff. But they believe in like science and stuff. I believe in science too. I believe that we were single-celled organisms and that we evolved into apes and all that stuff. So there's different beliefs, but I think it all comes down to what makes you feel right and what you're comfortable believing in, and what makes you a better person, right? So that's what I believe in.
So Manny, welcome to our program, Searching for Goodness.
Thank you.
You're a martial artist. You're an artist. You're a soap maker, painter. You make music. You make movies, and you made a difference in someone's life. Martial arts is a great outlet for someone who has been bullied, who needed that structure, that discipline, and to help build confidence and build that self-awareness. You've made soap for people who are not only like health conscious, but were also like looking for good hygiene at a time when hand sanitizers were scarce, rubbing alcohol was scarce, really hard to find like cleaning supplies.
This is called lemon verbena. This is by True
It's
Soap.
organic and it's good for environment, right?
Yes, this is an organic soap, fully organic. This is what I'm making now. Basically, all this contains is regular olive oil, right? I also have organic coconut oil. Make sure that it's unrefined. Refined means it's gone through all these different processes, which I'm trying to create soap in its truest form, hence True Soap, all right? I also, my secret, it's not going to be my secret no longer because I'm sharing it with you, but what my niche is and my secret to making the soap is I run it through a process where I steep it in tea, right? So I use whatever tea is good for the skin. For instance, chamomile and lavender is what I use. Shout out to Bigelow, right? Bigelow for
so calming.
Exactly. So we're actually making Bessy a nice chamomile lavender tea right now. right? That's steeping. And I'm also gonna put it in the soap as well. But yes, so that's what I do to make people feel good, hence spreading the goodness in the world. Soap is a form of science, right? So basically what I'm doing here is I have to use a certain amount of all these products that I'm using. For instance, oil. If I'm gonna make a batch of soap, which is, my batch is usually 14 bars of soap, right? Which creates all of these before I cut it. I also have a whole criteria that I go by. It's not just, you know, I think it needs a little bit of this, I think it needs a bit of that. Everything is carefully calculated for the skin. For instance,
let me.
I have this whole recipe, right? This is for the lemon verbena soap. So
let's feel the recipe.
Oh no, I'm just kidding. Hey, if you can do it, definitely, you know, if you can do it, but there's definitely, I encourage you to do it actually.
We should get your information so our viewers who are interested can go ahead and contact you for some soaps.
Absolutely. So you want to go on my website. It's called truesoapco.com, right? So that's TRUESOAPCO.com. And that's how you can buy my soap line, right? So as I mentioned before, my vision of this soap and what I'm doing here is fully natural. Everything that is in this bar of soap, or these bars of soap that we have, all it is olive oil, right? 30 ounces of olive oil, almond oil, 5 ounces of that, sunflower oil, 5 ounces of that, right? Coconut oil, which is this, unrefined as I mentioned before. It's gonna be 10 ounces of that. And that totals up to 50 ounces of a soap mold. And I'll show you in the video as well. So this is called a soap mold, right? So I just pour all those ingredients after it's emulsified. Emulsified means using a stick blender. Once you have all the oils and all the ingredients, as I mentioned in the ratios, you just pour all of that into a jar that contains how many ounces of all the oil is, right? You pour all those together. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna use sodium hydroxide. So this chemical right here, what this is this what binds all the oil molecules together, right? If you didn't have this, it wouldn't be soap anymore. All it would be is just oil. So what this chemically does to your soap, it creates, it makes soap, basically. So it makes all the oils mixed together, and it's called the saponification process. And once they all mix together with sodium hydroxide, right, it creates a kind of a paste, right? You pour that whole paste after you emulsify all those elements together using the stick blender. You pour all those together, right, with all this oil, and then you pour into your soap mold. That's that in a nutshell, basically. And then here's the thing with the curing process. Here's where it may take people like a while, but once everything is in your soap mold, you then take this and you put it off to the side and you come back the next day. And then when you come back the next day, what it's gonna do is it's gonna get all your soap and it's gonna put it in a mold like this. Your soap is gonna be hard like that, right? Then all you do is you just cut it, right? As I cut these right here, all right? You just cut them all using a cutter, all right? So I have this cutter right here. Just want to show you real quick so you understand what's going on. Basically, this is a soap cutter, right? I'm sorry for that. So basically what this does is, once your soap is out of the mold, all you do is you cut it. So you boom like that, right? And that creates one soap. And you cut the other one, boom. So it cuts the other one, right? You have to do this the next day that you make the soap and that it hardens in the mold. You have to do it. You have to take it out because it needs 24 hours for the soap to harden. Otherwise, it'll still be a liquid, right? So once you cut the soap, then here's the process where it takes a little time. You have to put your soap out to dry. So I have some soap on the side right here, and also these soaps right here. These are already good. These already been dried for like, I'd say like a month already. But you have to dry them for a month, right? So that's the thing. Once you cut it out of the soap mold, you put all the cuts that you did, and it takes 1 month for them to harden so you can use your soap in the shower. All right, because if not, when you use this thing, it'll still be soap, but it's not going to be hard. It's going to waste away faster. So that's why the process of soap making takes a long time, because you have to wait for the soap to cure, hence bring out all the moisture that comes out of this thing. So, but I love to do it. So I haven't used commercial soap since the pandemic, really. Just use all of my own soap. And if I could do it, and I think I can do it because everything's possible, I would like to make all my own products, like even toothpaste I would like to. I'm trying to do shampoo. So shampoo, all that stuff, you know, lotion, deodorant as well. Eventually I'm gonna get to the point where I make it all. So I don't have to use like any commercial brand. So I know what's going on in my skin. So I'm like a natural, or I'm a proof that the true soap works. I'm the truth behind it because I've been using it since the pandemic and I know all the ratios, and I recommend anybody to try it because it's beautiful. It lathers well, makes your skin feel great. It has essential oils inside of it as well. It has nothing fake inside of it, or you know, it's all organic, aside from the fact that you need a chemical to bind all the fats from the oils together to make a soap a solid bar. So all of this is just salt. It's basically just salt, sodium hydroxide. So in a sense, it's kind of natural as well, but it's just been grinded down to a certain molecule in salt form, basically. So it just grinds everything down and mixes and hardens with the soap. So that's that. That's how I make true soap.
Disciplinary action. I'll be breaking up all the rappers up into fractions.
What is goodness, and how do we spread goodness?
Good question. Yeah, so appreciate you for bringing all those aspects up front about me, because yeah, those are the things that I love to do. And I got a lot of those things from goodness, and goodness that people have given me and taught me in life, you know. So I believe that goodness, what goodness is to me, is a lot of things good. It can be in the form of treating people, you know, a certain way, which is a good way. How you talk to people, your mannerisms, how you see the world. That's also a form of goodness for me as well. Goodness is things that taste good, could be food. Goodness is how you treat yourself, you know, keeping yourself clean, eating correctly, getting away from the bad things in life, all of the white noise, so to speak. That's also a form of goodness to me. But mainly I would say goodness, when I think of the word goodness, it kind of paints a picture to me of treating somebody good, right? Treating somebody the way that you want to be treated, which should be good. Everybody likes to be treated good, you know? So I try to reflect that on people. The way I wanted to be treated, I would like to treat people that way as well. And in turn, I would like them to treat me good. So, you know, goodness means a lot of things to me. Goodness means music. Goodness means harmony, movies, entertainment. Goodness means, as I mentioned, soap. You know, that's also a goodness to me. Just like any good feeling that you get from something that creates that brings up your endorphins and brings up the serotonin in your body, that's goodness. You know, it's the feel good that we want, that we're all looking for. Everybody wants to feel good, you know. Hopefully it's not in the bad sense. Hopefully it's not in the drug way. That's not what I'm trying to say here. I'm just trying to say that I'm trying to unlock the goodness and also spread goodness to people. Mm-hmm. So that's how I would spread goodness, is by treating the people how I think that I should be treated, spreading it that way. Mm-hmm. Opening the door for a woman, you know, not trying to expect things from people. Rather give things and not expect things at all. Just give things to people, whether it be a good compliment. That's also a form of goodness as well. Like giving compliments. A lot of people want to just be complimented, but how about you give the compliment to people? Because you need that. It needs to go around in a circle. Like, Armin, I like your hair today. You know, I wouldn't say that. You know, we'd be more on a different, like, I'd say, hey, that's a cool jeans you got, or so, you know, cool shoes or something, or, you know, that's a cool track you were playing earlier. But just something where, like, if you think something is cool, or you like something about somebody, whether it's an old man, a older lady, a woman, a young kid, whatever, you know, just like express that. You know, express that to somebody. Like, gratitude is also a form of goodness. You know, I think people don't really, that's what we're missing in this world is gratitude in a natural sense, right? So don't be afraid to spread the goodness to people.
So Manny, I see that you play guitar. What's that beautiful guitar behind you?
Oh yeah, so I actually just bought this. This is a LTD made by ESP. I mean, I'm not really like a professional about like all the different guitars. I know a lot of different guitars. Ibanez, there's you know, a lot of them. Gibson, tons of them. Jackson, but I just like this because it looks super nice and it looks really old school. And you know, it caught my attention. Actually, when I was at the guitar store and I bought this, I asked somebody about it. You know, I was like, does that look like me? I told him, I was like, is this guitar look me or should I get the black one? Because I always wear a lot of black and I like that color black. But you know, I wanted to change it up and just this is what I got. But I love to play guitar. I was in a band a long time ago, and I've always been a musician. So I feel that it's good for a human being to learn how to play a certain instrument, whether it be a violin, the guitar, the bass guitar, drum set. I know how to play like pretty much every instrument, but mainly I do play the guitar, and I like to play heavy metal. For those that really don't know much about me when it comes to music, but I am in rap and hip hop and things of that nature. But that's another thing, you know. I have different genres of music, so I love to play heavy metal. So this is where I get the. So you guys want to hear me play some tunes? We'll play
some guitar licks from Manny Padilla.
Absolutely. Here we go.
I'm holding this really cool cup here. It's a picture of a parrot. And this cup belongs to Manny. And Manny knows a thing or two about birds. And
Absolutely.
so Manny, I want to ask you, what is your take on birds?
Well, I think birds are a distant relative to the dinosaurs. You know, they're very important. They've evolved, you know, from the dinosaurs. That's what I basically heard. Hence, they're very smart in a sense where, you know, you got to be careful with calling birds bird brain because they're very smart animals. Like a parrot can know like multiple languages, right? A parrot can know, such as the parrot that you see in this cup. That parrot could probably know like 30 different languages, right? Other than what a human being. So they get to learn pretty fast, you know, and they're very intelligent animals. Crows, for one thing too, that I know about crows, probably like the smartest bird, I would say, I think, because I've heard a lot of things about crows that they have facial recognition, that they remember things, like they see you from the street and they'll just like remember who you are, and they just very smart animals. And a little short story about crows. I used to work at a hotel in downtown LA called Hotel Indigo. And I remember myself and other fellow manager was walking around the hotel and just checking the rooms and stuff because that's what we would do. We saw a crow on the ledge outside, right, just caw, like doing its bird call and stuff. And one of the managers was like, kind of like making fun of the bird. Like, look at that bird, because it looked kind of funny. Like he kind of had like a bald head, and he was just like clowning on him, right? And I remember that day, and I even got footage of it too. It's legit too. Like, I was like, be careful with crows, man, because they remember you. They remember like what you look like and stuff, and they like don't just make fun of them because they probably know what you're talking about. And he's like, yeah, right. And he went up to the glass window and shooed it away, right? And then so whatever, we just walked up to another floor, like on the other side of the hotel, and I shit you not, excuse my language, that same bird, and he brought like 6 other crows with him, and they're all sitting down at the ledge, and it was that same bird with the weird head, and they're all sitting there all looking at him, and they're like, you know, doing this bird call and stuff. So that's how I know for sure that the theory about crows and the scientific explanation that they're very smart and they have facial recognition, it's very true. So be careful what birds you piss off, because and there's a lot of movies about birds, like the movie Birds, right? Remember that? There's a movie The Lighthouse, with Robert Pattinson, and there's also a remake of an older movie prior to. But that movie was also built about birds, like remembering things. So, important thing about birds, they're very intelligent animals. They're beautiful. A lot of them are very beautiful. They understand things. They have families. They're just like human beings when it comes to that. They have a brain. They have a heart. They're wonderful animals. So I think birds, you don't take them lightly. So they got a soft spot in my heart. Birds do. So don't mess with no birds. I'm gonna have to do a jiu-jitsu move on you.
We love birds, and I want to talk about another member of the bird family. So penguins are indigenous, creatures in Antarctica, and the goal is, in the Searching for Goodness universe, is to travel to all 7 continents, including Antarctica. Is that the first place you want to set foot on?
Wow.
And I wanted to ask, what is your take on Antarctica? Have you been there? And if you have not been there, is it a place that you would like to go one day?
Absolutely. I would love to go to Antarctica. I mean, I've never been there. It's fascinating that it's just like a large sheet of rock, or whatever, or not sheet of rock, but a sheet of ice, or icebergs and all that stuff, all the way on top of the North Pole. It's on the North Pole, right? It's on the North. That's considered Antarctica, or is that the South Pole? It's one of the two.
It's South Pole, actually.
I think it's South, right?
As far as I researched,
Right.
You would think it's South, but it's North, but it's actually South.
Yeah, South Pole. Antarctica is the famous, I'd see it in pictures and all that stuff, and it's just amazing. The iceberg and all these kind of geologists going to visit that place in these boats and studying the landscape of it and all the icebergs and what's stored in the iceberg. I think that it's very fascinating to know that it's very uncharted over there in Antarctica, and we don't know. A lot of people, like, can you say I haven't been there? I don't know any of my friends who's been to Antarctica. There's probably very few people who are really like geography enthusiasts who have been there, but that's a special place too. It has a lot of history. There's probably something in those icebergs that we all don't know. You can go see the auras out there. There's a lot of wonderful things out in Antarctica. I'm pretty dang sure you could see the stars magnificently out there too. You can probably see the galaxies out there, different galaxies, because it's so far away from all this lights and white noise. But I would definitely like to go to Antarctica. That's definitely one of the things on the bucket list. You got to bring a few jackets with you, but it's got to be something wonderful over there. And not to mention just a lot of the theories too. There's a lot of theories about Antarctica that people say they have seen things out there that you won't normally see out here. Not saying UFOs or whatever, but it may be just a lot of different things that happen with the world, how the sun hits the atmosphere there, which creates auras. It's very dreamlike out there. I would kind of imagine Antarctica, and I would love to go there and see what's not out here. Because you're on the top or south, north, wherever, north or south, one of those two, but you're way away from this whole population of people. There's probably maybe 20 people there at a time or something, but that would be an excellent place to go, is check out Antarctica, definitely.
What are your inspirations?
I have inspirations in the form of human beings too. We want to talk about celebrities, I think, for one, and we'll get to what my other inspirations are other than humans, but Bruce Lee is an inspiration of mine. Right? Bruce Lee is, and I tell this people all the time, Bruce Lee, I studied his books and just the person who he is as a philosopher and a creative, excellent person, and rest in peace to Bruce Lee, but there's not going to be anybody like Bruce Lee, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people can vouch to that, and he was way beyond his time, but just his he got me through a lot of things in life, Bruce Lee, understanding his philosophies about life and martial arts and things of that nature, and art and everything. Reading his books, he has a really impressive mind, and so he definitely is one of my inspirations. My inspiration, what keeps me going as well out here is just wanting to be happy. I don't want to, and using what I have to become happy to the best of my ability. So using my talents to get me to the top, to where basically I can be my own boss, which technically I am right now at this point in time, but I don't really require much. I'm kind of like a minimalist, right? I don't need like a huge $50 million mansion in the Beverly Hills, right? As long as I have a house and I love what I'm doing, and also create art and create movies and continue to create content for my artist friends and for myself as well, and anybody else who loves entertainment and soap, of course. That's what will keep me going. So inspiration to me is, for one thing, martial arts. That it inspired me to be who I am. It encompasses what I am right now. Music, for sure. I'm always looking up movies, right? There's a lot of directors who inspire me as well. Quentin Tarantino, I'd say Michael Bay, Spielberg. There's a lot of Spike Lee. There's a lot of directors, but also actors as well. So art inspires me to be what I want to be. I think it all encompasses in an art form as well, to me too. So that's kind of inspires me to do what I want to do in life, and to be the person that I want to be is art. So art inspires me down to the bone, 100%.
And any closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts, hey, I just want to thank you all for having me on this wonderful show that you've created, and you all inspire me to do what I do as well, because you are a form of artist as well. I mean, you are artists, and I appreciate everything that you all are doing with the show and getting this input from people and hearing people out. That's very important to the world that we live in today. People need to speak and express themselves in a certain way to feel good about themselves. So in a sense, you all are spreading goodness just as we speak now, and I'm spreading goodness by expressing my goodness to you. So thank you all for that, and you are welcome to hang out at my spot anytime you want. Come create with me. Have a great time. Make some tea, make some soap, make some music. Let's make a movie or whatever, but my doors are always open, you guys, and thank you so much. I love you guys.
When they don't know who I be, it's Rasta, Mr. Rasta Man. When I'm coming to your land, when I see you where you stand, it's Rasta, Rasta Man. And now they know, now they know, now they know, now they know, now they know. Oh, oh, oh. It's Rasta, it's Rasta Man coming to your area. Oh, oh. When I'm walking through your land, when I see you where you stand, it's Rasta, Mr. Rasta Man. When I come into your street, when they don't know who I be, it's Rasta, Rasta Man. And now they know, now they know, now they know, now they know, now they know. When I'm coming to your street, when they don't know who I be, it's Rasta, Rasta Man. Who, and you don't know who I be. When I keep rising up on the scene, keep fresh down, now you know what I mean. The life that you're living ain't nothing but a dream, you feel me? I be stepping in your land, now you know just where I stand. I got the flow like the back of my hand, DJ sliding, something like a band. You know them shots, I call it. I didn't need to graduate from college. You can ask my wallet, and it'll tell ya further I'm ballin'. I represent Stone Ninjas, from the east to the west, go figure. We make tracks, we don't pull triggers. Smoke pot and drink liquor. We do what we gotta do. You can do what you want, we won't bother you. Leave me alone, I'm solitude. Crush your head in the ground, we topping you. And now they know, now they know, now they know, now they know, now they know. When I'm coming to your street, when they don't know who I be, it's Rasta, Rasta Man.